Mrs. Mechanic was asking me why the sun rose, or it got brighter earlier, why dawn broke earlier in some parts of New Zealand than other parts. So I explained to her what it was all about, and the fact that the Earth rotates, and the sun gets to different points at different times. And we found out that Gisborne, which is out on the very far east coast of the North Island, well, those people have to get up earlier than anybody else because they have dawn earlier than anywhere else, not just in New Zealand, but anywhere else in the world. Bloody hell. Why would you want to live in Gisborne and have to get up that early in the morning? Ridiculous. Anyway, bear with me while I get sorted out. It's been a very, very, very busy week. Highs and lows. More highs than lows.
Clean your driveway in under 5 minutes with this incredible 100.
No, don't need to do that. Thank you. Right, we're on. Now, I need to refresh because I've got no comments. What the hell's got... Every single time it doesn't give me the comments first time. We have them now. Right. Oh, my word. Simon was in early. Good morning, Simon. Simon says, good morning to everybody. Mike Bazanski, Happy New Year, Andy and crew. Happy New Year to you too, Mike. And, of course, Simon. It's great to have you guys on board, as always. Pete, Happy New Year, Andy and crew. Thank you, Pete. George Bonnie 90. Hello, everybody. Big thumbs up. Same to you, matey. It could be a very small audience. Oh, Alan Cook. Happy New Year, Andy and Holly. Thanks, Alan. I'll pass that on. Now, you might be able to hear that in the background. That's a lawnmower. Now, you know how much I hate people that cut their grass. As soon as I press the record button, I'll go live. It seems to happen probably 75% of the time. There is somebody somewhere within earshot that decides now's the time to cut the grass, or get the strimmer out, or chop some wood up with a chainsaw. Always seems to be when I'm filming. When I'm not filming it and just editing away in the office, it can be silent for hours. Well, you know who's got the lawnmower right now? Mrs. Mechanic. She knows I'm doing a live stream. I know the grass needs to be cut. She did the first cut yesterday. It was more like a field than a lawn, but anyway. But she knows I'm doing a live stream, and she's fired the lawnmower up. So you'll have to forgive her. She's doing her jobs. I'll cut her some slack because I hate cutting the grass. In fact, I've not cut the grass for years. So, time for a cigarette. Let's have a little recap of this week. There's lots of videos that I've filmed that are in the can that have not yet hit the channel because I've been busy in the workshop getting stuff ready for the trip. But I've done a lot of it to camera. And of course, that requires an awful lot of editing to be done. Not for the first time. I was editing up last night after I finished outside, and I was doing a roof tent repair, major repair. The whole base of the roof tent had just rotted out, so I had to put a whole new base in it, and that's two sides. And it's a bigger job than I thought. Anyway, there's a video on that. I don't know how good it's going to be, but there's going to be a video on that because there's a lot of roof tents out there, and I bought mine right at the start when they first start to be sold. Mine's probably 14, 15 years old, and yeah, it's been neglected. It's been left out in the rain a lot, but it's my own fault. Anyway, there's a few things in the video that are interesting, and I think a lot of people will be in the same boat in a few years' time when their roof tent bases start to rot out as well, especially if it's that particular brand, which I was very, very annoyed about, to be honest. But anyway, such is life. So last night, I was editing up the last video on the CB750. It's a very, very long video. It should have been 2 videos, really. I could have split it into 2, but I thought, well, what the hell? Let's have a double bill kind of video as a finale. It seems to work. And I started editing up. I've probably got about half an hour of the video still to edit and get it all rendered and stuff. And I got about 10 minutes in, and I actually fell asleep editing. I couldn't believe it. Probably only for a couple of minutes, then woke up, and I knew at that point it was time to stop. So I went into the lounge, put something on the telly, I fell asleep. Woke up from my tea, fell asleep. So I know my batteries are pretty drained at the moment. But we're getting there. I don't know if we're going to hit the deadline of hitting the road for the morning of the 4th, because we're driving up to Kaitaia on the 4th. Got to be at a friend's house for the night of the 4th. It might well be pushed back a day. We'll see how things go today, and more on that a bit later on. God, I talk too much, honestly. But I suppose it's a live stream. I'm supposed to talk. That's my job. Pete, no worries, Andy. It's okay. What's okay? What did I say that's not okay? Oh, as regards the videos? Okay. Tony Ruiz. Sorry, Tony. Happy New Year. Greetings. Happy New Year to you, Tony. Brian Graham. A man with 2 first names. Should have cut it yourself, then it wouldn't be making that noise, would it? I suffer from hay fever, terribly. So does Mrs. Mechanic, actually, but she takes the little tablets for it. Antihistamine, they're called, aren't they? Wow, what a memory. But I also suffer from asthma. And yeah, I know, it's not a good idea. So when I get hay fever, it triggers my asthma, which is bad, really bad. So Mrs. Mechanic is more than happy to cut the grass. But the deal was, I bought the lawnmower, she cuts the grass. It's a pretty good deal, I reckon. Alan Cook, I had a kitten came in my shed. Alan, great segue. Thank you for that. We have currently a dog. Now, I'm not talking about Marmite's shop dog. Marmite's our dog. But every single morning, and it starts about 3 a.m., a different dog, a man dog, comes onto the property. And Marmite, shop dog, which is a female, goes absolutely ballistic. We all know what she wants, and she's not getting any. No, she gets me up middle of the night a few times to, making it out that she wants to go outside to water the garden. She doesn't at all. She wants to go outside to see her boyfriend. We're not having that. Oh, the lawnmower's okay. Thanks, Pete. Simon Rawl. Is there not some local kid that comes round the doors with a lawnmower? It's a tenner well spent. We did actually have a gardener. How did we get onto this? We did have a gardener a few years ago that used to come round, and it ended up being really, really sporadic. So there I am thinking, I was living in Auckland at the time. There I am thinking that the lawns are getting cut. And then I get a letter from the council saying your grass is too long. It's a fire hazard. I'm like, what the hell? I've been paying this guy to cut the grass and he's not been cutting the grass. So as soon as we moved down here, we vowed to cut the grass ourselves. The neighbours have somebody that turns up, or the ex-neighbours, they've now moved to Australia. So I've no idea who we're going to get next, but the house is sold. It could be anybody. I don't know. Hopefully it's nobody like me that makes loads of noise. AXL 2.0. Hello from South Africa. Hello, AX. I'll call you Axel. Hello, Axel. Kill switch BB. Bit late, but here. Kill switch, mate. Don't worry. I am running days and days behind at the moment. But if today's plan goes to plan, the plan B, then the end is in sight. There's one more thing. You can probably see the bike behind. I can't remember how much I showed you last Sunday, to be honest. Did I show you did I show you the mounts that I made at the front of the bike? I think that was over a week ago. Maybe I didn't. Maybe that was on the video. So tell me, did I show you the mounts and stuff that I made for the GPS and stuff at the front of the bike? And top box is now on. I think we did the warrant of fitness, didn't we? That's right. We did the warrant of fitness, but that was about it. Killswitch goes on to say, Happy New Year, peeps. Oh, and yes, I did complete the whiskey challenge from last week. Good man. And then some. What the hell? And yes, I paid the price, but well worth it, lol. Yeah, the next morning's always a bad morning. Ben left a big keg of beer in the fridge for me. 5 litres. and I've nearly polished it off. Mrs. Mechanic wants the big drum thing to make something out of. I don't know, but yeah, nearly there. I put it out about maybe a good litre and a half last night, which is nice. Axel, do you have Hyundai Autos or Atos and their Toyota? We have Fortuner. No, we don't have any Toyota Fortuners here. I haven't seen any of those. I'm not sure about the Hyundai Atos. I'll keep my eye open on the road when I'm doing the trip. Simon, mower, but for the Kubota, be done in minutes. I know. It would be massive overkill, wouldn't it? But it would, maybe. I don't know yet. We'll see. I've burnt the budget. I'm very quickly running out of funds for the trip. I keep spending money, so that's not going to happen for a long time if it does happen. Mrs. Mechanic wants a little ride-on lawnmower, and I think that's probably the best option. Just to be fair, a push-along mower for the size of, especially for the back garden, it's a big ask, in all honesty. It does drive itself along, but it's still quite a big task. PC Gamer 77, hi all. Good morning, PC Gamer 77. Great to have you in the workshop, matey. Kill Switch BB, 5 litres. That's just a starter course round here, lol. I'm not a huge beer drinker, to be honest. Although you may look at me and go, man, that guy puts the beer away. I actually don't. I don't drink that much volume, and often when I'm out for the whole night, I'll switch to usually whiskey and Coke normally. Much more refined drink, to be fair. Whiskey is good. Connor K. Happy New Year, Andy and crew. Happy New Year to you too, Connor. Good to have you on board, matey, and appreciate all your help and your comments over the last year as well. It's great to have the regular viewers. It really is. Keeps things going nicely. Petrolhead 77, hi all. Good morning, Petrolhead 77. Axel 2.0. What's the voltage there? Because 240, 50 hertz in South Africa. Yes, it is 240 volts AC, obviously. I think it's 50 hertz here. Pretty sure it is. Kill Switch BB, beer and a good pie. I do have pie for tea sometimes, with some additional sort of potatoes and stuff, and gravy and a few veggies. You know, it's nice. It is nice. So, how many have we got? 24. That'll do. Right. Let's chuck the pie in, because I don't want the live stream to go on for 2 hours and whatever it was we did with Holly. I'm going to aim at about an hour. We'll see how things pan out. So things need to move reasonably quickly. The pie for today is Mackenzie steak, mushroom and ale pie. I don't think we've done this one yet. In fact, let's go and check. Let's go and check the board and see if I've done it before. I can't remember. Honestly, I am useless when it comes to this kind of stuff. 3, 2, 1, turn you round. There we go. Right. Yes, the workshop. Actually, it's quite tidy at the moment, in all honesty. I had a good tidy up yesterday. There's lots of stuff to talk about. To the board. Have we done one of these before? See if you can spot it. So, it's a Mackenzie steak, mushroom and ale. Mackenzie. Oh, we've done a Mackenzie steak and cheese. Many more Mackenzies. No, don't think we have. Right, that's good news. Okay, so we've got a pie review to do. Let's go and take it out of the bag. Just pop you down there, look, that'll do, won't it? Okay, so High Country pies made well. Okay. Now this is the one with the plastic lining, so Andy, don't open the bag up completely. Okay, it doesn't look too bad, does it? Pretty well sealed. We've got a tiny crack just there, but I think we'll cope with that. Ooh, the bonding is starting to fail around this area. And another crack down here. What's the underside like? Hey, not bad, not bad. Okay, so we'll put it on the outside of the packet. I think these are okay on the outside of the packet. And we'll head over to the pie warmer. Over there, look. Ooh, look, Andy Mechanic YouTube channel. Cool. Right. Dum, 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 dum. Sit you down there. Is that going to work? Yeah, it's going to work. There we are, look. Oh, Sheldon is always in the way, honestly. Who would buy a milling machine? Right. in it goes. I don't think the Mackenzie ones are the ones that stick to the pie. I think they'll be all right. There we go. Let's give that a go. Cook my pie. Well, warm my pie up. Pie warmer. Do your job. All right. Just over 20 minutes. That's plenty, isn't it? Yeah, I know. It's a bit of a tip around here, isn't it? I really need to tidy up again one day. Glass cabinet's looking very empty now that all the CB750 stuff's done. Very happy that that bike's gone back to Alan. Now, what should we talk about? Let's do the radio stuff. Okay, seems we're mobile already. So just going around. So we've got 2 more radios. Exactly the same, but just the older model. There we go, look, very happy with those. Now, these were given to me very, very kindly by Mike. Not the Mike that lives inside the radio, by the way, a different Mike. Mike gave me these. It comes with a twin charger and all that kind of stuff as well. All I really need is the radios. I've got 2 more. I'm not going to break these. If you've not seen the previous video, please watch it. These 2 radios, the brand new ones that I purchased, doing the connection, I made up some leads based on how I thought it should be wired up, although I wasn't 100% sure. And unfortunately, plugging them into this SR10, the center unit, has caused this radio, and don't forget, they actually did work. They did receive and transmit for a short time. This one now has no speaker. There is no audio at all, whether you go into the jack on the side or the mic that's built, the speaker that's built in, which tells me that something to do with the driver or the circuit board, the circuit to do with the speaker, the audio, has failed on that one. It does still, this one does still transmit. See the little red light at the top? You can still transmit with it, but you can't receive. So not really much of a two-way radio anymore. This one, different fail. Although the lead was exactly the same, it was wired up the same. This one now makes a ticking noise. Wait for it, wait for it, wait for it, wait for it. There you go. So it makes a ticking noise, which means there's a fault with the speaker circuit. And what this one does oh, hang on, sit back on here. This one does transmit with the button on the side, not a problem. And you can talk. You can talk out, but it doesn't transmit using the jack port. So again, can't be used on the bike, but sort of a good backup radio, hopefully. We'll do some testing when we're out on the road. So I'm going to go for plan B. Plan B is, given the fact I've got all these bits that I've purchased, I have lots of microphones with the leads cut off. I also have one microphone, not that one microphone that still has the lead on it. This is the one that I'm going to use so that there's no risk of any kind of miswiring going on. These mics are obviously original and they plug in via the jack port on the side of the radio. So there's no issue. These are completely compatible with the radio. It's not an issue at all. So what I'm going to do is take the mic apart. I'm going to remove the microphone and put that on a boom on this helmet. So I'm going to make a boom off the side and bolt it to the side of the helmet down here, and then just extend the wires and keep the mic in the top box, right? So the circuit board and stuff's all still in the top box. The same with the speaker. That has a little plug that goes into the circuit board. I'm going to extend the wires and put the speaker basically on the side of the helmet. It's already got holes under this cover, basically so you can hear the sheep and the lambs and stuff bowing at you. But, you know, I can't do a lamb anyway. So that's that. So there'll be basically I need to feed 4 wires to the helmet. The helmet will be wired to the bike. So hopefully I can find a cable like this, or I can maybe reuse one of these other cables, you know, off one of the mics that I've already chopped up. So I've got a coily wire between the helmet and the bike, which would be nice. And then the push to talk button, we already have one on the bike. You can find it in the box. To camera, Andy, to camera. Sorry, chaps. Sorry, is that one there? Look. Yeah, there we are. Look. So I've got a couple of spare ones. I've done some testing. Jeez. Right, done some testing with the multimeter, and it goes closed circuit when you press the button. Okay, so I just need to double check, but I'm pretty sure it will, that the push to talk button on the mic will close the circuit when you press the button. I'm pretty sure it does, but again, I'll test that. And then I need to extend the wires from the circuit board where the push to talk button's connected up through under the tank, which is already there, so it's already wired in, and the push to talk button is there. Look at that, you see, pretty cool, all done. Whilst we're here, we've also got the phone mount, the GPS mount, look at that, very tidy, I like that, and of course, power supply. And the push to talk wiring comes up through this braided bit, and there's a little plug just under here. So that runs all the way back to the box. Can I show you in the box? It's a long way up, hang on. Spoiler alert. So there's the box. Hang on, where's my torch? Can I put a torch on? No, I can't put a torch on. There you go, look. So that's inside the box. So all the wiring for the push to talk button is done. I just need to run the 4 wires from the box for the mic and the speaker, under the seat, under the tank, and then some kind of connector up here. I was having a rummage around, just going across the drawer. This is my thinking. And I have got, you're going to laugh at these, because I'm not going out shopping. We're not spending any money on this. I have to use what I've got. So what I've got here is a winch controller socket. Yeah, look, just happens to be 4-pin. Fantastic. Bit overkill, but it'll work. And then that will be the plug that comes from the helmet into that socket. So again, we've got a nice sturdy plug, and it does lock in. There's a little tab under the lid there, look, which locks into that tab there, so it can't be pulled out. Not that I think it will do anyway. But I suppose, in fact, what I might do, because I might fall off the bike, is I might try and make it a slightly more loose fit, and I might just grind that little tab off. So if I fall off, that will just jettison and come off with me. That could be a good idea. Okay, right. A drawer of many, many bits. Okay, back to the bench, I think. So I've given you a bit of food for thought on my plans. Turn you around, 3, 2, 1. Boom. Are we there? We are. Right. Okay, so I'm going to go old school. And I made the mistake, and we make this mistake in our lives every single day nowadays, of overcomplicating stuff. My original thoughts were, hey, go with the Senna. Senna's cool, you know, proven helmet. You know, it's the helmet to the SR10 works brilliantly, no problems at all, but it's complicated. And of course, the helmet has to be charged up, and there's more stuff that's required to be done to manage the use of the helmet when you're receiving and transmitting and things, you know, to turn it on, and there's a lot of options that you can mess up, and it can create stress. So eliminating the whole of the Senna system altogether from the bike, and just sticking with the radio only and just extending the wires. The only downside that I can see is the fact that I've now got a cable between the helmet and the bike. It's not the end of the world. It's how the cops used to do it years ago. It's how I used to do it years ago when I wired a bike up with a CB radio when I was 17, and it worked brilliantly. We've already got the external antenna and the coax and stuff that plugs onto the handheld radio. The only difference I would have made is the fact that doing it this way, just using the CB, is I could have just used a fixed mount rig as opposed to a handheld radio. I don't have another fixed mount rig. The one that I've got is going to go in the ute, so we use the handheld. Plus it does give me a spare one. The other benefit is nothing is bespoke other than the wiring to the helmet, the radio itself, the cradle. I've got 2. I can just unplug the jack and plug it into the other one if I have any problems. So I think it's, touch wood, I haven't got any wood, touch wood. It's going to be more of a fail-safe system. There's a lot less components to go wrong, and it eliminates currently the problem of wiring up the SR10 to the CB radio, which I suspect, and I've got no evidence yet, but quite a few people have emailed me in with their advice, and those that have, thank you very much. I've read every single email. It has, to some extent, gone above my head a little bit, some of the terminology. Yes, I could probably spend more time and maybe work it out and get it to work. Maybe damage these two new radios as a possibility. Absolutely refuse to do that. They were a gift to get me out of this problem. So I think the plan B of just using the radio is the best way forward. And if at such time in the future, it might be the first week of the trip, who knows? If at some time in the future, either Senna come back to me or GME radio engineers guys come back to me and tell me how to wire it up, then maybe I can wire it up on the trip. I'll take everything with me, and I'll take the Senna helmet and we'll give it a go. But for now, I just need a solution to the problem because I need to have comms with the Ute. And of course, it allows me to talk on the video while I'm riding and stuff. So, you can see the problem. And I'm just trying to use logic. Solve the problem in the best way and the most successful way that I can. And currently, it's a huge problem. One that I hadn't really anticipated. Now then, where do we get to with the comments? Oh, not too bad. Hang on. Coffee. Need coffee. Pete, smash the like, everybody. Oh, look at that. Oh, we've only got 14 likes and 30 viewers. Come on, lads. Hit the like button for us. Alan Cook just sent me an email. Hang on, man. Oh, just jump on, sorry. Peter Garnis, what's the time for you to mine in the UK? The time here, Pete, is exactly 9 o'clock. It's coming up just before 9 a.m. And to confirm that, going by my phone, it is 8:59. The Forge clock's been playing up a little bit recently. I put a new battery in this morning, so hopefully it's going to play ball. It was reading half an hour slow yesterday, which is a bit odd. Interestant, that means interesting type of pie. Interesting, what the hell? Alan Cook, email. Let's have a little look. Bear with me, people. Let me get into my emails. Boom, boom, boom. What's Alan sent me? Probably a drone picture. He likes his drones, does Alan? Bit of a drone professional. Alan Cook. Oh, racing ride on mower. That's more like it. What have we got? He's downloading the picture. Come on, you can do it. Come on, internet. There. Oh my word. Is that going to go full size? No, but I can probably zoom in. Look at this. You've got to see this. This is awesome. Could you imagine Mrs. Mechanic doing the lawns with that? She'd do it double fast, wouldn't she? What a piece of kit. I like that. I like that a lot. Not too sure if it'll get around our garden though. It's quite undulating as our lawn. It's not particularly flat. I'm sure she'd probably do a bit of damage with it. There we go, look. Let's get you leveled up again. Thanks, Alan. Appreciate that. That's a pretty cool picture, actually. Yes. Very smart. Now, where do we get to? Brandon SUX, paper in the toaster oven. Yeah, it seems to coat pretty well. We've not had a fire yet. Maybe today, I don't know. Simon Rule, good morning, Simon again. Got some of that screw grip paste. Works with rounded nuts too. Great feedback, Simon. I've had sort of mixed results with it. I remember somebody also mentioned to me that if you haven't got that specific, Forge product or a similar product like that for doing that application, you can use valve grinding paste as well. It does a similar thing. So, good to know. Alan Cook, Miss Mechanic should have one. I agree, she should definitely have. She's going to get a tractor lawnmower next year, but it's going to have to wait for a bit. Plus, we've got to store it. I need to build a shed. I can't leave it out in the garden. I mean, poor old Trevor, the tractor's living in the garden, and it's not doing any good with the sunlight. I might have to keep it under the carport, I think. Pete, did you get the cable worked out? Categorically, absolutely, fundamentally not. Lots of really good advice came through. Just to very quickly reiterate, I haven't got the cardboard stuff to hand, to be honest, but on the center side, it doesn't give you a speaker. It only gives you one of the polarities of the speaker. So speaker minus, for example. Sorry, speaker positive. It gives you speaker positive, and then it just calls the other wire ground. But it doesn't relate directly to speaker. So I'm wondering if on the center side, it's related to more than one circuit, is that grounding wire. So I think there could be some incompatibility between this particular brand of radio and the SR10. And don't forget, Sena themselves don't make a lead to connect this brand of handheld radio to the SR10, and there might be a reason for that. I was speaking to Mike in great detail a while ago. A couple of days ago when I picked up these radios, and we talked in more detail about a system that he did for a guy that does motorcycle training, and the difference with that, and he got it to work with the SR10 and these radios, but the difference was on that particular setup, they only used the transmit side of the circuit, so the microphone side on the training chap's bike, and then on the learners, on the trainees' bikes, they just had a little tiny receiver and they could just hear in their ear. They didn't use it as a two-way radio, they just used it as a transmit radio to be received by the trainees. And that might well work, but as soon as you implement the speaker side as well, that's where the conflict may well come in. So it's not conclusive that they've managed to get it to work properly at their end. They've only used one side. So again, because it's ambiguous, it's not the full story. I don't know what they did, whether they just wired wires together or whether they built a little black box and put components in it to make it all work. I don't know. Mike doesn't know. There's too many variables. It gets pushed to one side. I can't afford to damage radios anymore. I feel badly enough. Hang on. Scroll back, Andy. Axel 2.0. That's why I don't like two-way radios. I really like two-way radios, and I really like these ones. They're a commercial spec radio. They're extremely well made. Come with a 3-year warranty, which I might have to exercise. Mike, I was thinking about that the other day actually. I wonder if they'd just give me new radios, or whether they would actually pull them apart and find out what's gone wrong with them. I don't know. Might be worth a try. Certainly with one of them. Anyway, who knows? What's warranty for if it's not for replacement? They are well made. They're nice and weighty. They've got very long battery life on them. Just quality. Not the kind of stuff you can just buy, from your local, if you're in England, your local Tandy store or your local hi-fi place. It's not a domestic two-way radio by any means. Axel 2.0, I just want to know, for fun, do you know Afrikaans? I don't know Afrikaans. Sorry, mate. Simon, the connectors need to be easy. Here we go. Easy release, like jack plugs, in case you come off. Don't want to rip the wires out. Understood. Don't have any jack plugs to hand, and I've got 4 wires to connect, not 3. I just don't have. I'm going to have to use what I've got kicking around, Simon. I haven't got time, because it's half a day's job to get into town, to get what I need, to get back, and that's even if they're open. To be honest, most places are closed, being Christmas. So Andy's got to cobble together. He's got to solve the problem with what he's got in the workshop or in the house. That's it. I don't have a choice. I need to crack on. But I understand what you're saying. I really do. Trailer Fields Toolbox videos. Boom! Like button smashed. Cheers, matey. Richard Perry. Happy New Year, Andy and crew. GB. Big thumbs up. Cheers, mate. AXL 2.0. Wow. I know. Carlos Tapuna. Morning, Andy, and your morning, Andy, and your worldwide family viewers. Happy New Year to you all. Well, thank you a lot. Thanks, Carlos. I really appreciate that. It's a new year, and hopefully it's going to be a much better year than last year. Although that last year, here in New Zealand at least, it wasn't that bad, to be honest. It wasn't that bad. Very busy, lots to do, had to work around certain things, and certain things took longer because of things that were going on, but we got it all done pretty much. Dave, 123. Morning, Dave. Happy New Year, Andy. Did you get the CB750 back to Alan? I did. I did that a couple of weeks ago. Alan was very, very pleased. Over the moon, in fact. I'm just in the process, and I'll probably finish it tonight, of editing up the last video. Ooh, I just heard the back door. And the lawnmower at the same. Maybe it's not Mrs. Mechanic using the lawnmower. Maybe it's somebody else. Honestly, neighbours. Yes, so when I delivered the bike back to Alan, it was on a Monday night, so which would have been, I think, the 17th of December. I think it was. Delivered it back, took it off the trailer, it fired straight up, very happy, took it for a quick spin around the cul-de-sac that he lives on, and it was great. The first and only time I ever rode the bike, just round the cul-de-sac, but man, it started straight up and it rode nice, the clutch was lovely and light. In the video that I'm editing up now, which is a very long video, it's basically just fitting all the other stuff that we bought for the bike, basically to get it ready to go back to Alan. That was it. So you've seen the carb balance video. This is the last one that I'm doing now in the series. There is a chance Alan has said that he wants to do a video himself, piece to camera, just to thank everybody that's been involved, people that have sent stuff through, people that have given help and advice. Over the last, it worked out, I think it was 16 months, 16, 17 months I had that bike, which is a very long time, just to pass on his gratitude. So that won't happen until after the bike trip, probably won't happen until sometime in February, by which time, hopefully, he'll be giving the bike a nice polish and we'll have a good look. He might have done some other modifications, I don't know. He may have even got it road legal, I don't know. Wait and see. AXL 2.0, I want to know any tips you have to solve a loud mini split. A loud mini split air conditioner. Oh, okay. I was thinking of the car for a second then, a mini. So loud. I'm thinking of like, a mini with a big exhaust on it. A loud split. I have no idea, mate. I have no idea at all. If it's making lots of noise, it's probably down to vibration, so just check your fans and stuff. Something might be out of balance, you might have a fan blade broken or something. That's the only really rotating element. Pull it apart, have a listen, try and find out where the noise is coming from. Kenna Bazarid is obviously from Spam World. John Dwyer, morning John. Axel 2.0, clean it internally. There you go, give it a clean. Anti-Mosh, HNY, Happy New Year. Andy, I'm getting used to these acronyms, aren't I? Happy New Year, Andy. Thanks, Anti-Mosh. Appreciate it. Daisy Elliott is also from Spam World. Thank you very much, Daisy. Appreciate that. I'm sure YouTube will delete that comment very shortly. John Dyer, how do I clean it? Well, you have to take it apart, I think. Take the cover off. Have a look. Okay, so... Ooh. Honestly, perfect timing. Didn't even look at the clock once. Right, we'll give that a couple minutes for the heat to fully propagate through the pie. Kill switch. Pie! It is pie time very shortly. Time for a very quick cigarette. So, what else have I been doing? We didn't really finish off the week, did we? So I started the week by destroying two very expensive two-way radios. We've covered that, and there is a video going to be going out on that, fitting all the stuff to the bike and bits and pieces, and the problems that I encountered. Although, to be honest, I was so upset that the filming towards the end was quite limited, because I quite like success videos. I know from YouTube that failure videos do extremely well, but I like to produce videos that, oh, this is how you do it. If you got this problem, this is how you fix it. And that absolutely ended up not to be one of those videos. But the second video in the series will be covering doing the Plan B stuff, which will be today's filming. So I hope that works. I really hope it works. There's no reason why it shouldn't work. All I'm doing is extending wires. That's it. If If I can't extend wires, I shouldn't be a mechanic. So it should work. And making a little boom for the helmet and stuff. So, you know, a little bracket to hold a connector on the bike, and it's all simple fabrication stuff. So there's no reason why it shouldn't work. I'm looking forward to doing it. I'm going to be positive. I am. Axle 2.0. The problem is the compressor. It sounds like screws in. Okay. If your compressor's making the noise and it sounds mechanically bad, i.e., you've said it sounds like screws inside bouncing around, it's knackered. All right, it's probably run out of lubricant, oil, and it's just shit itself. To be honest, I think it's the end for that. But you can pull it apart and have a look. You know, you're just going to go in the bin anyway, probably. So if you pull it apart and find all these bits of metal in there, then you know you need a new compressor. John Dwyer, will we ever get a perfect pie? Well, John, that is a very good question, and there are 13 categories that the pie has to score full marks in. It doesn't just rely on a perfect pie. It also relies on the pie being readily available. It also relies on the person that's selling you the pie to be a 10. It does. Simon knows all about that. Simon's our 10 expert. So, you know, plus, you know, have they put it in a really nice packaging? Is it presented well? Is the packaging fully recyclable? Is all this stuff that goes into it. If it was just a pie and only the pie and nothing else to do with the pie, not even the eating environment, or in this case the server's attractiveness, then I think we probably already would have had a perfect pie. It would probably be the chicken pie. It was a really good pie, even though we're supposed to be doing steak and cheese pies. The chicken pie was unbelievably good. So I don't know. We'll have to wait and see. I might review the categories a little bit for next year, but that would sort of mean I've got to start all over again with the list, and I don't know yet. There's still a lot more pies to cover, so maybe I shouldn't alter it. Kill switch BB. To fix a problem, first you have to fail. Well, Kill Switch, I failed big time. I did. I don't like... If there were old radios kicking around in a drawer that I hadn't used for years, it wouldn't have bothered me, but they were brand new. And it does. It grates my bones, that kind of stuff. I don't like to waste things. Although there is a gentleman in Christchurch, one of the guys that emailed me, I forget his name now, so my apologies. He is an electronics engineer, and he has offered to see if he can repair the radios. So I'll be taking them with me on the trip, and maybe at some point we'll call in and drop them off, and I'll leave them with him, and we'll see if he can fix them for us. It'd be great if he could. I'm not going to take the radios apart. All I'll see is a circuit board, and that's as far as it goes. I have no idea how to test circuit boards, really. I'm just not into that kind of stuff. All I'll do is more harm than good. Simon, I don't know about you, but when something does not work out as planned, it put me in a right bad mood for the rest of the day. It did me too, and I don't like filming when I'm in a bad mood. Even now, I can feel it welling up inside me. It really, really annoyed me, and I was very confused. Was it an SR10 problem? Was it a radio problem? I even had to wire up the base rig for the car, for the Ute, just to test the two-way radios to see what was really going on, because I knew that was a known good working properly rig. And that's when I realized that the radios had different failures, the handheld radios. So it really, really upset me. I was not a happy bunny at all. And I'm sure Mrs. Mechanic will vouch for my state of mind that evening. After a good sleep, I was in a much better frame of mind, a bit more positive, and I decided just to crack on with other parts of the work to be done for the trip. And that was good. Took my mind off it. Anti-Mosh, did you confirm the wire colors with the multimeter? Yes. Not a lot you can do to repair those radios. Will be SMT components. Okay. If you can find a service manual and a friendly radio ham, might have a chance. Yeah, I can't repair the radios, and yes, I did, and it's in the video that hasn't gone to air yet, where we actually confirm the pins on the jack plugs with the colors at the mic. So I did all of that as well. So it's not for not checking. I mean, sure, there's a lot more checks that I could have done if I'd had the knowledge to do it, but I didn't. Based on my knowledge at the time, I did everything that I think I should have done. I haven't edited that video up yet, so maybe I'll spot something when I edit it, but I don't think so. I'm pretty confident that once I'd come up with a plan of what to wire to what, I stuck to it, and there were no mistakes made. I made 2 separate cables. I made a second cable on camera. I made the first cable off camera, just to do a quick sneaky peek test first. And it worked. It worked fine. Don't forget that this is the issue. The test that I did off camera before I filmed it, with Mrs. Mechanic in the house with a handheld radio and me using the radio on the bike, I was able to talk to her and she was able to talk to me. It did work, which leads me to believe that I wired it up correctly as regards what was speaker, what was microphone circuits. Have to do, otherwise it wouldn't have worked. Somebody said that I got the speaker wires the wrong way around. Somebody else said that wouldn't matter because it's only a resistor at the end of the day. So lots of variables, not going to worry about it. Just going to park it up on the shelf in a cupboard, close the cupboard, put a padlock on it, leave it alone for a while, and focus on solving the problem of having radio communication on the bike to the ute. That's all that matters. I'm not going to get bogged down with having to use the center gear. I don't have to use it. If I don't have to use it, why use it? The pie is going to get cold. Need to speed up this cigarette. Anti-mosh, done it myself. I shouldn't have trusted the colors on the note with the cable. Yeah, I mean, some of the information I was supplied post damaged radios had different colors on it to what was in the mic. It had a green rather than a brown. And then somebody else said to me, hey, if you haven't got a green in the wire, brown supersedes it. How am I to know that? I don't know. Anyway, doesn't matter. It's gone. I don't want to get too bogged down in the live stream about the failures that I've had. I want to try and stay on a more positive note. So let's go and get the pie. I'm getting hungry. Didn't quite finish the cigarette, so I'll just gingerly put it out and I can finish that later on, hopefully. Because they've gone up by $4 a packet this week, the new year. Thanks, government. Anyway, to the pie. 3, 2, 1. Dum dum dum. Pie time. What if Sheldon's on board? Sheldon, are you there? Are you watching? Because Sheldon likes pie time as well. Right, it didn't catch fire. That's the first bit of good news today. Oh look, it has for sure. The cracker on the lid has opened up with the heat. Dum 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 dum. Looks pretty good. Right. Nice. Okay. I'm dying. Not really. The lawnmower's getting nearer. That might be Mrs. Mechanic now. Okay, quick scan around the pie. Let's check its integrity. So first of all, the lid. Doesn't look too bad, does it? Nicely browned. Taking it round, trying to support the base. The base feels a bit soggy actually. That crack's opened up. These cracks, they don't like getting hot, do they? Another one down there, look. Okay, underneath, doesn't look too bad. Big. There's a few little cracks in there, and it is quite soggy. Okay, I'm gonna start at the worst part of the pie and give it the best chance of staying together. I'm going in. Are you ready? 3, 2, 1. Oh. It's quite hot. So those that have just joined us, This is the Mackenzie steak. What is it? Steak, mushroom, and ale pie. I like mushrooms. Mushrooms are good. Yeah, we've got a bit of... oh dear, oh dear. Okay. Right, where do we go next? I think around here would be a good place to go. That's not bad. I've not had a piece of steak yet though. I've had sort of lots of steaky flavoured gravy, but no steak pieces as yet, Mackenzie. I'm going to hold the pie vertically because the base is really struggling. And to be fair, when you eat it in a bag, you do hold the pie vertically in the bag, so it's not cheating. It's just more realistic, actually. Wow. That base is really starting to balloon out. It's not good. It's not good at all. Okay, so initial flavour. It's all right. It's a bit bland. It'd be nice if I get a nice chunk of meat in there. Okay, where's my pen? Let's do some scores before I forget stuff. So, taste stroke flavour. At this point in time, I'm going to give it a 6. It might change. Structure Foley partners. Well, it's verging on potential collapse. I'm just going to check the runnability now. Okay, so 45 degrees for a while. There you go, look. It's sort of holding its own. I don't see maybe the smallest amount of movement. So it's not a runny pie. It's a hot pie. Oh, I did have a bit of meat there, but it was only a small piece. Runnability, I'll give it an 8. No, we should give it a 9 because it was very good. It wasn't perfect, but it was good. Meat quality. Well, a bit hard to say really. I'm just going to show you the inside of it, if I can. There's your meat look. Wait, don't fall apart on me. Right, that was a very small piece, another small piece of steak. Proper steak though. It's not bad. Meat quality. I also feel that the larger the chunk of steak, the higher the quality. It seems to correlate, and these are very small. I'll give it a 7. You can get a lot better than that. Pie to crust ratio. Well, there's quite a bit of filling to pastry, and that's what we're on about. So filling to pastry ratio really is what that is. There isn't a massive amount of pastry on it, so I'm going to give it... It's not bad. I'm going to give it a 7. I think 7 is fair enough. Now, availability logistics. Mrs. Mechanic bought this one from a supermarket. So Mackenzie's are sold all over New Zealand. They are pretty readily available. I don't think you can order them online. Pretty sure you can't. So, as regards supermarkets, it's not bad. But you've got to warm them up yourself. So you can't eat them there and then. But you can buy them from dairies as well. Sorry, corner shops sell them. And they are pre-warmed, and you can buy them from the local petrol station, and they're already pre-warmed or preheated. So all that adds in its favour. I'm going to give it an 8. They're pretty available. Mackenzie pies are pretty much all over the place, so we'll give them an 8 for that. But you can't get them online. That's one of the downsides. Now, pastry taste rating. I think we can take a bit of the top pastry off first. There we are. Look. And sometimes with pastry, you get a bit of a weird aftertaste. That was alright. That was nice and crispy. It was crunchy and no weird aftertaste. Now I'm going to take a piece off the corner where it bonds together. A bit more gooey, obviously. I think there's a bit of pepper in the pastry. Could be wrong. It's not bad. I think a 7 again, actually. 7 for that. Makes it harder for adding up when they're all odd numbers. Still tasty when cold. I can't do it yet. It's still pretty hot. Packaging design. Well, there we go. That's it. It is plastic lined, so it helps to preserve the pie better. It's mainly paper. It's got a lot of print on it. Tells you all about the pie and what's in it. Golden pastry. Yeah, I'd go with that. Golden pastry. 100% grass-fed New Zealand beef, locally brewed ale. Proudly baked in New Zealand, 210 grams. Rich and hearty, it says. They have a little saying on the back. Let me just prop the pie down a second on the bit of cardboard. And Mackenzie go on to say, if I can still read it, because it's sort of it's a bit. I'll probably do the first bit. This is a pie as it should be. One of life's simple pleasures, made in the timeless traditions of high country baking. The best ingredients, locally sourced where possible, skillfully mixed by our, I'm going to say staff, bakers, by our bakers. Hearty, authentic, and something else. Can't read the last one. Can't read that. Okay, that's about it really on there. Right, back to the pie. That's definitely Mrs. Mechanic cutting the grass now. I'm finding a few more lumps of meat, which is good. So packaging design. A bit of work went into that. It looks traditional. I like that. Best before date. Now, bearing in mind, this has been in the freezer. You ready? Best before the 1st of December 2021. Oh dear, it's a month out of date. But it has, maybe it has been in the freezer for a few weeks. We'll give it the benefit of the doubt. Best before frozen 2nd of December. Oh, 2nd December 22. So we're all right. It's not going to kill me. She definitely froze it as soon as she got it home. It's not doing too badly now. I've sort of got it stabilized. So packaging design, 8. I think it's pretty good. Recyclable score. Now, because the paper's got the plastic lining, it's not recyclable, and there's nothing on there to say it's recyclable because it obviously isn't. So they just get a 1. Stuffability score. Don't know yet. Let's keep going. There you go. It's getting better the further down I get. There's quite a big chunk of meat just round there. Oh, a mushroom. Nice. Not just a tiny fragment of mushroom, actual slither of mushroom, a slice. Pie server attractiveness. Now, it came from a supermarket with this one. Mrs. Mechanic assures me that the pie server's attractiveness was a 6. So I'm going to give it a 6. I wasn't there. I can't vouch for that. Post heartburn factor. It's not post yet. We're still eating it. Structure Foley partners we've not done. It's cooked reasonably well, although it had the potential of catastrophe. I think you'd be hedging your bets if you tried to eat this particular pie whilst you were driving. I would never recommend it, obviously. That's a little covenant for you. It could have opened up, and it could have ended up all over the place. So, structure Foley partners, there was a few cracks in it, the lid was breaking off. 5? I think 5's pretty generous, to be honest. It could have been a 3, really, if it had started to break up slightly more. Right, let's keep going. Nice big chunk of steak there. That was good. A few more of those are doing great. There's an awful lot of sort of the gravy stuff in there, the filler, which is a bit of a shame. Still tasty. It's now warm, not hot. I do like these pie reviews. I think it's very important for people to know how good these pies are, then you know what to buy. So, still tasty when cold. And it's got mushrooms in it, don't forget. Cold mushrooms are never good. Not in my book. I can taste the ale, for sure. I don't think it'd be that good a pie cold, to be honest. I'm going to give it a 4. No. I'll give it a 5. It can't be a 4. Now, it's all in there. Do I feel stuffed? I definitely don't want another one. One is definitely enough. I feel okay. I mean, it's a good volume of pie to not impede work later on, and I've got a fair bit of work to do, to be fair. I'm not. 10 would be, you know, absolutely stuffed, can't walk around. But I'm going to give it an 8. I think it's a good level of being stuffed. Post heartburn. Well, there's been no burps or repeats or anything just yet. So I'm going to give it. I'm going to give it a 10, actually, because I feel good. Okay, have we got all the scores? I need to have a quick count up. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13 scores, which means, right, it's not a 10 anymore. It's a 9. It could free fall. Okay, let's get this tallied up. Here we go. 3, 2, 1. Right. So what have we got? 6 and 5, it's 11. Add 9, 20, 27, 34, 42, 49, 54, 62, 63, 72, 80, 86. Pretty middle of the road score, to be fair. Okay, where's my little magnet thing? I was reasonably organised today. Right, so this is a Mackenzie. And it's a steak. Mushroom. Oh God, we're going to run out of room. An ale. And he got 86. Okay. In front of the camera, Andy. What a plonker. Right. Let's go and see where it ends up on the leaderboard. The first pie, 2022. Many, many more to come. Right, we'll stick him up there for now. Right, 86. Oh, we haven't got an 86. It's the first one at 86. Right, I need to move all of these down a bit. Just bear with me. I reckon we can squeeze him in. Jesters. I remember that one. Jeez, that was a good magnet. Right, he's going to squeeze in there, look. Mackenzie, steak, mushroom and ale, 86. Which is just below the average, really, isn't it? Yeah, there's a few more Where is he? Mackenzie's. Yeah, so yeah, he's probably 2/3 the way down almost. Okay. Well, not a bad pie though. Not a bad pie. And certainly a pie that I would have if, you know, it was the choice of that or an unknown home baked type or dairy baked pie, because they can be sometimes really good and sometimes they can be absolutely horrendous, to be honest. So what's next? I suppose back to the comments. Let's get rid of that. Don't need that anymore. A bit like the center helmet at the moment. Jeez. Okay. Now, let's scroll back a little bit. Oh. Tankman 319. Happy New Year, Andy and crew, from Cape Breton Island, Nova Scotia. Somebody else from Nova Scotia. We get quite a few viewers from Nova Scotia now. It's pretty cool. My eldest daughter, Charlotte, she lives in Nova Scotia. And she's very happy over there. Little Charlie. Spoke to her the other day. Simon, on a brighter note, Miss January is well covered by the lathe. Damn. Sorry, Simon. Let's go have a little look at Miss January. I know you want to. Okay, here we go. Miss January from Forge. Yes, look at that. Very nice. Well presented. I wonder if in February she's going to turn around. Who knows? Good job. Well done, Jared. Thanks for the calendar, mate. As always. And no red tape required, which is good because I'm running out. But I'm quite sure, knowing Forge and their calendars, that I will be needing some more red tape further down the year for sure. Oh, hang on. Keep going. Now, Corey Brooks has entered the spam world, as has Rorix, somebody Russian by the looks of it. Jim K. Hello, crew. Good morning, Jim. Welcome back to the workshop, matey. Happy New Year, Jim says. Thank you, Jim, and Happy New Year to you. And my apologies, Jim, my sincere apologies. I left my work phone in the office for the last couple of days, and I've been really busy out in the workshop, and I didn't hear it ringing, and I haven't answered your call. So I feel very badly about that, and maybe I'll try and give you a call later on today, once I've got my head around these radios. Again, the Plan B. Kill Switch BB. Hey, Jim. Oh, hi, Jim. Happy New Year. There you go. Bit of intercommunication, bit of banter between the viewers. Oh, geez, come back. Bruce Cleaver. Morning, Andy and crew. Happy New Year. Well, thank you, Bruce, and Happy New Year to you too. I am very positive that 2022 is going to turn out to be better than 2021. Although, to be fair, it doesn't have to achieve very much to do that, does it? Roger Heaps is in the workshop. Good morning, Roger. Good morning, Andy and crew. Happy New Year to all. Very little service here. We'll watch live stream when home. No problem, sir. No problem at all. I know the feeling that New Zealand is pretty bad on internet when you're away from home, even when you're at home, actually. Purple Monkey 1974, best looking package yet. Well, there you go. See, so you see, market. That's what packaging's all about. It's about drawing in the potential purchaser's attention to oh, that looks nice. That packet looks nice. The pie must taste nice. Not always the case though. Now, where are we? Ian Edwards, you're right. There they are, horrible. They are horrible when cold. I think so. This message hell for review. You can't say that, Tankman. YouTube will go mental. I can't repeat it. I can't do that. I'll get into trouble. But you are right, mate. You are right. I can't review that though, can I? Kill Switch BB. Is the secret to growing a good ponytail? Hey, here we go. Eating pie early in the morning whilst doing a live stream. asking for a friend. That's a compliment. Honestly, so you think it's a good ponytail. I mean, I have no idea. I've only ever grown one. It's sort of just the way it is. Trying to look on the live stream. Yeah, I think it looks all right. I think Holly was right though. It's a bit more like a girl's ponytail, isn't it? Anyway, it is what it is. Pete, going to have a pie of my own for you and everybody. Well, good on you, Pete. It's good to join in with the pie stuff. Jim Haynes, a friend of mine, had a 64 Pontiac Le Mans, and it was from Chicago. So it had a few rust issues, and mushrooms used to grow in the back seat carpet. Really? But it was okay, as mushrooms are nasty anyway. Yeah. That's a lot of damp to grow mushrooms inside a car. It's going to need a lot of cleaning, isn't it? But I imagine the rust holes were letting all the water in, so it's probably the way it is. Jim Haynes, again, here in the States, most of our long-term auto parts suppliers don't give out calendars. Blamed the China virus supply issues. Well, that's no good, is it? I mean, it is a cultural thing within the automotive industry, certainly in the UK, definitely here in New Zealand. And no doubt, I would suggest the rest of the world as well, but you can put me straight on that if you like, depending on where you live. But I suppose a girly calendar, as they call them, in the workshop is just a right of the workshop. It's what we do. It's what gets us to work in the morning, to flick the page over to Miss February. I mean, and she's there all day long just to remind us what life's all about. To take that away from us, it's our culture. Culture should be protected, in my opinion. Bruce Cleaver. Ari the Calendar. East Midlands Diamond Drilling used to do very nice calendars. They must have run out of money one year. I think they used employees' wives. No. That's a slippery slope, isn't it? That really is. But good idea. Kill switch. Sadly, I have to sign off. Oh, really? Trying to cook dinner. Wife due home any second. See you, folks. Hey, Kill switch. You've got to do the cooking, mate. You can't get into trouble. This is the first day of the new year. You need to start on a good footing, don't you? So good luck with your cooking. Jim Haynes. I see the sprint car season is busy in New Zealand. Yes, I've seen some adverts on Facebook and stuff for that. Are you close to any of the tracks that run there? I am, actually. Well, not close, but there's one in Auckland where they do the sprint cars. I'm trying to remember the name of it now. It's out towards Grey Lynn on the right as you're heading out of Auckland. It's had terrible problems with the locals, people moving into houses that surround the track and then complaining about the noise. It's just same old. I mean, why on earth the councils, when they issue the planning permission for the track all those decades ago, don't then have a covenant on all the planning permissions granted for housing in that area that the track came first. If you're going to live here, this is the environment you're going to live in, and don't even think about trying to make a complaint because it was here first. You chose to live here. And the same would go if somebody bought that house from somebody else. It would have that covenant in the deeds or whatever, because it causes so many problems. I mean, so many tracks around the world have closed down because of local residents complaining about the noise. But yes, I have been to that one a couple of times. It's great fun. It's a good atmosphere, and hopefully, maybe in 2022, we'll go to the sprint car racing. It won't be a live stream, maybe, but it'd be fun. We should do that. Springy 2112. Season's greetings, Andy. I'm late again. Don't worry about that, mate. It's all good. So I'll watch it, not live later, from the beginning. Really enjoyed the CB750 and the latest DR200 videos. Hey, cheers, matey. Thank you very much for that. A lot of work has gone into that CB750. And I do look back at all the videos that we've done and all the work that's been done on the bike, and it's pretty phenomenal, to be honest. I haven't totaled up the number of hours of final videos that have hit the channel, but certainly in raw footage, you could at least double that, at least double it. So what, 20 hours hit the channel, 40 hours footage. I don't know. I'm only guessing. There could be more. I just know that a lot of work went into it, and a lot more work behind the scenes as well. Preparing for the videos, getting the components, working stuff out, planning my attack. Jim Haynes, Bay Park Speedway. No, it's not. See if I can Google it. Bear with me, people. It's bugging me now. Oh, God. Honestly, Yahoo seems to have taken over my Google. Don't know what's going on there. I hate Yahoo. Can't spell either. Google search. Go away, Yahoo. Right. Speedway track. Auckland. I think it is a speedway. Western Springs. That's the one. Western Springs. It's really good. They have some concerts there as well, which are cool. And that was another problem because the council put restrictions on the number of days that the Western Springs could be open. And some of the days that they open, they allocate to concerts as opposed to, doing the racing. So even less racing dates were available, which is even, it just really crippled the place. It really did. There's also one called Rosebank Speedway. Not been to that one before. And there's Waikaraka Park Speedway, which I have also been to a few years ago. So it is very, very cool, to be honest. Auckland's got plenty. Don't think there's any in Taupo. Speedway track Taupo. I know there's a racetrack in Taupo. No, there's only the racetrack, Bruce McLaren Motocross Motorsport Park, and there is a motocross track that I've seen at the side of the road as well, but I don't know how often that's used. No, it's all just Bruce McLaren. Sorry, there isn't one. So we'll have to go to Auckland and do a video up there next time I'm there. Pete, people buy houses next to airports in the US and complain about the noise, but knew where they were buying. Exactly. Are they dumb? You go and buy a house next to a airport. Oh, look, there's planes in the sky. They're making noise. Seriously. Begs belief, it really does. And then the councils listen to them. This is the biggest problem. They should just say, "No, get stuffed, mate. You bought a house next to an airport. Bugger off." Simon was reading some documents that came in a car today. I always find that really interesting when you buy a second-hand car. All the old invoices and the service history and just the stuff that you come across. Recommendations from a large UK garage chain. Recommended a timing belt change. Thought to myself, that's going to be hard as it's a chain lock. Yeah, there's plenty of dumbasses out there. Simon Rawl, top right of screen, 3 dots setting, manage search engine, set Google as default and delete Yahoo. Hang on then. Bear with me, 3 dots. Hang on, what am I doing? I'm not very good at computers. Setting, right, 3 dots. Settings. Oh, I've got a new screen. All right, I'll do it later. Search engine used in the address bar. No, don't like that. Google, yes. Right. Manage search engines. Google default. Cool. Okay, that works. Right, where are we? So hopefully Google's gonna be my default now. And it's done it on both my 2 laptops. Weird, really weird why it suddenly changed. But anyway. Thanks, Simon. John, Will you drill a hole in your helmet for that pony thing on your head, or cut it off and glue it on the lid? Lol. Well, the second option is not an option. I'm not cutting it off. I spent 2 years trying to grow it, and I blame lockdown to start it off. But I've got used to it now. It's not going to go away. No, basically, I'll just put my hair down when I've got the helmet on. I'll do a very low ponytail. So you'll no doubt see that on some of the videos. It'll be weird because my hair it comes down to about probably about there now, I would say, which is very strange, especially when it's being straightened. It looks weird, really, really weird. You're never going to see that, I don't think. Not for a while anyway. Oh my word. Right, the next John Nuttall, big girl. Don't know how to take that, John. Springy 2112. I've done dozens of restorations, so I understand the effort you put in, and filming for your YouTube quadruples the time spent. It takes a lot more longer filming, it does. My production skills are years behind yours, so I applaud your work. Well, thank you very much, matey. I do appreciate that. I try to do my very best. It depends a lot on your state of mind. Sometimes I have a job to do and I just don't feel like filming it. And I know I should. I mean, I did a video recently, good segue actually, because we're going to talk about it in a minute, on repairing a roof tent. You've probably seen now they're getting quite popular, these roof tents that you put on top of your four-wheel drive or your car or whatever, so you can go off into the wilderness and camp on the roof of your car so the lions and stuff can't get you, maybe, rather than use a traditional tent that's on the ground. And when we did our trip through Europe to get to New Zealand, we bought 2 Howling Moon roof tents. Very, very cool, and they were quite a new thing back then. And we put them on top of the Nissan Patrol on a big roof rack that we'd had made up, and they were really good. We slept in those tents pretty much every night for three weeks, and in freezing sub-zero temperatures. In Bulgaria, it was -15. It was very, very cold. We had some mountaineering winter sleeping bags, which kept us lovely and toasty. But as soon as you got out of the tent, man, it was really cold. And then since getting to New Zealand, those tents really have just been in storage in various... Oh, geez. It's repeating big time now. I might have to lose another point. They were stored under houses and in lofts. And this one, the smaller one, which we've used for the bike trip, was actually outside for about 2 years, just at the back of the house, which was my downfall. I didn't realize that having a tent outside would cause a problem. I thought tents were designed to be waterproof. And turned out that the base, because they have 2 big flat boards that then fold over on each other when you pack the tent up, that base was made of wood and then coated in aluminum either side, sorry, and the wood wasn't treated. I mean, seriously, what the hell? You're making a tent that's going to be used out in the open, that's going to get rained on. That's probably the main reason why you've got a tent, is you don't want to get rained on. And the wood rotted. And I'm covering that in the video that I've done. Well, I did cover it. It just begs belief. I mean, why would you use untreated timber? It just makes no sense at all. But anyway, right, roof tent stuff. I'll show you where I'm at. Well, to a point, what's in the workshop anyway. 3, 2, 1, here we go. Right, what we on? Oh, hour and 23. I thought I said an hour. What the hell? Okay, get rid of the fly spray. So, the roof tent. This is a diagram that I did, and it is in the video. These are the dimensions. 1440 wide. This is with the tent fitted, so the base is slightly smaller. 1440 by 1260. And the 2 rails that bolt the roof tent to your vehicle are 1390 long, and the gap between them, between the 2 rails, is 820. There, look. So I measured that as well, because that's important for your mounting points. Look at that, it's a drawing of my ute. Pretty cool. And if you remember rightly, a couple of years ago, I made some rails that go around the outside of the panel that goes over the top of the tray. So I'm going to mount it to those. And these are just some ideas on how to mount. This is some box section that runs, red line that runs across the ute. There we are, look, sorry, on camera. Across the ute. And the green line is the rails. And the intersection is the point where it mounts. And this is the mounts. There we go, all makes sense. And there's some more dimensions there for the rails and stuff. So, spoiler alert, the roof tent is outside. I can't show you that, unfortunately. But these are the rails that I made. So if I grab one of these, hopefully I can put it on the bench for you. So I was racking my brain as how to mount the box section onto the side tubes that run down the ute. And I wanted to do it in a way that they couldn't fall off. So and again, I had to use what was in the workshop. So I just got some more of the larger size tube, welded it on, put some captive nuts on there so I can put some bolts in there to tension it once it's in the right position. And even if the bolts come loose, it can't fall off because, of course, this tube goes all the way around the smaller tube. So all that would happen is the roof tent would just come loose, but it would require all 8 bolts to come loose, which is highly unlikely. This is where the rails connect, and the rail runs across here. So there's 4 of these pairs. So there's a total of 8 bolts holding the roof tent down onto the box section. And I even capped the end of the box section, look. I nearly didn't, but I thought, no, I need to do that. So this one is, where does it say it there, look? Just so I didn't make any mistakes, because they're bound to be slightly different. I even marked it up front, and the front of the vehicle is here, and the back of the vehicle is here, and this is the front mount. And that one over there is the rear mount, which in theory is absolutely identical. There's no difference. It does exactly the same job and works exactly the same way. And by having these tube mounted, I've got some adjustment. I can slide the tent forwards or backwards to some extent on the ute as well to get the positioning just right. And the tent will open out because like I said before, I didn't do a drawing of this, but basically you've got the back of the ute. And you've got the passenger side, the curb side is probably the easiest way to describe it. The curb side is where the hinge is, so then it opens out onto the curb side. Just in case we have to camp at the side of the road for an emergency or something, if we have a breakdown or something, then we can do that. The last thing you want is your tent opening out into the road. That you can imagine what would happen. But yeah, it's all come together. All I need to do now this morning, before I do the radio stuff, is fit the tent and just finish that video off. And then I can crack on with the radios. And I've got the rest of today, and maybe if I need it, a couple of hours tomorrow morning, at an absolute push till lunchtime. If I come out nice and early, I'll have a bit more time. And then tomorrow afternoon, I've just got to pack everything up, mount the bike on the rack on the back of the ute. I did the rack yesterday. I made some modifications to the motorcycle carrying rack that I made a few years ago, just to make it easy to stow away under the tray. But other than that, it remains unchanged. So it's all coming together, but there's a lot of work gone into all this. And the problem with the radios has probably burnt 2 days of my time, because I had to go and collect those gifted radios. We went on an evening, sure, but it was a good sort of 5 hours out of my day. But had to be done. Need radios to make it work, and I damaged the other 2. Now then, where are we going? Oh, we've got some more spam. That's nice. Simon, best get some Nix wax on the tent. Don't want to get soaked. It's got a fly sheet as well. The fly sheet's the waterproof bit. The tent itself actually isn't designed to be waterproof. But the fly sheet is still in good order, so hopefully that'll keep us nice and dry. But you're right, we could get some of that Nix wax. Bruce, Ari the whinges about racetracks. Too many chickens have been slaughtered because of people moving to the country, and music venues closed because of idiot laws. Totally. I mean, what do you expect? Open your eyes, people. I mean, when we had our off-road centre in the UK, we had a lady move to a house, the nearest house to where the car park was, where we used to have as base camp, where we did all the briefings, and all the vehicles would come in and go out during the day. Sometimes multiple times. They'd come back for lunch and then go back in the forest. There was a lot of traffic in that area, and she complained because when she viewed the house, she came down during the week and the site was closed. And it's just a forest, and it was quiet and peaceful, and you could hear the birds singing and stuff. She moved in, and the first weekend, I think, was a bank holiday weekend, which was our busiest times. And would have been a Saturday morning, the first day of opening for the weekend, and we had probably 100 vehicles queued up outside the gate, all the way up the road, up the hill, basically. Most of them, like, you know, Land Rover V8s and Discoveries and Land Cruisers and all that kind of stuff. And they all knew to park to one side of the road, because we had to bring all our vehicles down as well, the ones that we hired out. And to do that, we used to shunt. And for shunting, we used to use our Unimog. It was a U1000, a phenomenal piece of kit, and I will have another one day, guaranteed. That's definitely on the list. A fraction the price of what Trevor the tractor cost anyway. And we used to bring the Unimog down, and we used to bring the little Suzuki Jeeps down on A-frames, 3 at a time, like a little road train behind the Unimog. And then we bought a ZIL 131, so then we'd bring 3 more Suzukis behind that. And we also had a lot of Nissan Patrols, so we used to the instructors used to drive a Nissan Patrol and A-frame another Suzuki down behind that. So there was we used to bring down about 28 to 30 of our own vehicles, plus the mobile office, the cabin, as well, and we'd have a generator running in the car park to power everything. So it was a very busy little site with a lot of vehicles moving in and out, and then during the day we'd have breakdowns and stuff, so we'd have vehicles being towed back or brought back on trailers. Sometimes I'd go out in the forest with the digger and do some track repairs and things as well. So it was a hive of interaction during the day, lots and lots of noise going on. And she used to complain big time about all the noise, and it's like, well, did you not realize, did you not see the 20-meter wide banner that's 2 meters high, that's, you know, 20 meters from your house, that says welcome to the off-road site? Did you not think to come down on a weekend just to see what was really happening there before you bought the house? You know, surely this is your own fault. You chose to live here. Just because the house is idyllic and it's in a lovely little quaint valley, middle of nowhere, it doesn't mean to say it's going to be quiet all the time. You should have done your research. She was a lawyer, the worst kind. And she made many complaints to the council. But we had planning permission. She couldn't, you know, she tried to cause problems. And when we went to renew our planning, I think her letters that she wrote in, increased the number of restrictions that were being imposed on the site, on our operations. But ultimately she didn't get us shut down, but it was a big fight, and it cost a lot of money to fight the fight. You know, it's not just a letter, it's, you know, assistants, it's planning officers, planning advisors that you pay to help you. So it was a bit of a pain, but we won, and the vehicles kept coming, and it was busy. And in actual fact, on the weekend, the last weekend that we traded, we had the biggest ever turnout, and we had dirt bikes coming down, we had quad bikes coming down, we had a lot of our own quad bikes as well, we used to hire out. It was almost getting too big, was the business, to be honest. It was just mental. We would often easily have 100 to 150 vehicles on site. We could have a group of 2 or 3 groups of dirt bikes out every day over the weekends. You know, we ran 40 of our own quad bikes, so at least half of those would be out constantly every day over the weekends. It was very busy. It was good. It was really good. Logistics and scheduling were absolutely critical. We were really good at managing that kind of event. And I mean, in the first 10 years, we provided 1.2 million off-road driving hours. That's a lot. And never any deaths. In the 14 years or so that we traded, nobody ever died, which obviously, thank God, you know. But in reality, when you look at the number of driving hours provided, there would have been deaths if you'd done the same distance on the road. Anyway, that's what we used to do. And I will one day do a video on it all. Richard Perry. Avon Raceway was closed for a house estate. So they closed the site and built houses. Terrible. William Brody. Hi, Andy from Minnesota, USA. Good morning, William, and welcome to the workshop, sir. I think, ladies and gentlemen, we are there. 1 hour and 35 minutes. It almost seems impossible to get these live streams under an hour and a half, but it is the way it is. I can't make a difference. And an hour and a half's pretty cool. I don't mind that. It works well for me. But I really do now need to get on. I've got quite a lot of work still to do and only 2 days left to get it done before I hit the road. If I need to, obviously I'll delay the start by a day. I can afford to do that. I can't really afford to delay it by 2 days, but we'll see how things pan out. Oh, Pat Toohill. I just got here and you're talking about lawyers. They all suck and it's like death and taxes. You can't avoid it. I know. William Brody, minus 23 degrees centigrade today. What the hell? That's very cold. Well, William, make sure you wear a big thick coat when you go outside. Okay, crew, thank you very much for the comments on the ponytail as always. Do appreciate it. And thanks for joining me too in the workshop. I am now going to crack on. I just want to thank you all again for all your support. You know who you are, that you've given me over the last year and years. All the thousands of comments that have come through, the time that you spend on these live streams with me, listening to my dribble and drone and whatever else we talk about. It's all really, really helpful to me. So thank you. Much appreciated. And well, I'll see you at 8:30 a.m. Sunday morning next week from somewhere in New Zealand because I'll be on the bike trip. All right, crew. Cheers. Over and out.